Ah, yes, the age-old question. Bitcoin or gold in a zombie apocalypse? Which one would you rather have? Now, just to be clear, we're talking zombies from The Walking Dead, not those terrifying zombies from 28 Days Later. Honestly, if I saw a zombie running at me like a cheetah, I'm dropping straight to a fetal position and just calling this life good. Now, if you click this thumbnail, I'm sure that you've already placed your bets on one of the sides, Bitcoin or gold, but make sure you stay to the end because the conclusion might just shock you. My name is Brandon, this is Ponder Crypto, and who's ready for some brains? Now look, yes, this is a crypto channel, but we're not about playing favorites here. I've thought long and hard about this topic, probably too long to be honest, and I think that I've got a pretty good position that I can defend. The categories that we're going to be comparing are resource acquisition, which is better positioned to help you acquire clothes, chickens, bats with spiky nails at the end, all the things that you need to take out those brain dead beauties. Mobility, which will keep you light on your feet so that you can stay ahead of those hungry buggers. 3, wealth preservation. Both Bitcoin and gold's primary purpose is to serve as a store of value, so we're going to look at which one holds up better in this type of situation. And finally, physical protection. Would Bitcoin or gold improve your safety in some way? All right, first, let's talk resource acquisition. Gold is a physical object, so it can be traded for other resources. Now, assuming that there's no internet, that there's no electricity, you can't really execute a Bitcoin transaction. Having said that, someone in the comments may point out that there are satellite options out there by Blockstream. I don't think they're real world ready just yet, so I'm not going to include that in the scenario, but that might be something in the future. Now, you could theoretically give someone your private key to your Bitcoin address, but there's no way to know exactly what your balance is on that wallet. Not to mention you have to give away your entire Bitcoin balance. You could theoretically break off chunks of a gold bar, and even though gold may not be that valuable in a zombie apocalypse, if someone had, plenty of weapons and food and so forth, they may be willing to part with some of it for gold at a major discount. If you only have Bitcoin or gold and you need to acquire resources, gold is the better choice, primarily for its physical properties and its ability to break into smaller pieces that can be traded during a time where there is basically no internet. So mobility. Gold is heavy. You can carry gold with you, but if you have any significant amount of gold, it will start to weigh you down. Calorie conservation is paramount in a situation where food is likely scarce. Not to mention keeping you light on your feet so that you can ensure to remain faster than those zombie bastards. You can store trillions of dollars on a Bitcoin address and retain access by writing down or memorizing your 24-word seed. In a situation where you are likely to be nomadic as you move where resources are or change areas as zombies overrun a town, Bitcoin will keep you as light on your feet as you need. I can hear you now. What does mobility matter if you can't even transact with Bitcoin? Well, fellow internet nerd, we have to assess each attribute on an individual level and determine its merit before we can pick a final winner. Now, can I get back to the video, please? If you're enjoying this thoughtful analysis, please hit that like and subscribe button down below for more videos where we solve the world's biggest problems. Also, check out pondercrypto.com and join our free newsletter where we send you market analysis, hard-hitting opinion pieces like the one we're discussing today, and meme of the week. It's completely free, like I said, and you'll receive a complimentary ebook called Pondering Bitcoin Critiques right after you sign up. This week's meme was posted by Glenn from Glendale. You definitely can't do that with Bitcoin. All right, the biggie. Wealth preservation. Both Bitcoin and gold serve as investment instruments to store your wealth and retain your purchasing power in the future. But which holds up best under these conditions? Gold is a physical metal, and although it's shiny and could attract a hungry zombie, gold is resistant to rust, corrosion, and is the most stable metal. If a zombie, gobbles up a gold nugget, you could theoretically pull it from its belly and it would still be perfectly good gold. It can be lost or stolen, but your wealth will not be erased from the gold decaying. Bitcoin can also be lost if you misplace your private key. However, you can create redundant backups protecting you if a copy is destroyed. Your private key can be stolen, but without the internet, a thief cannot access those funds anyways, even if they wanted to. Also, the Bitcoin blockchain that contains all the wallet balances is currently stored across thousands of nodes scattered globally, including a satellite that's orbiting the Earth. Only one full node is needed to confirm Bitcoin balances, which means the network is pretty indestructible at this point. Now, gold can be used for things like bartering in a zombie apocalypse, and because it would not be highly sought after compared to clothes, weapons, and chicken eggs, you would likely need to exchange a larger amount of gold to entice someone to part ways with those valuable resources. This means that the purchasing power of gold in this situation would have been eroded, basically. Because you cannot transact with your Bitcoin, there's no temptation to trade your Bitcoin at a discount for a samurai sword. Also worth mentioning, if you're a person receiving gold, there is no easy way to know whether or not the gold you're receiving is mixed with nickel or hell if it's pyrite. This will lead to the gold receiver likely requesting even more gold to help offset the risk of accepting gold in the first place. And lastly, because gold is physical and has some weight to it, if you run out of weapons, you might be tempted to hurl a gold bar at the head of a zombie, which would increase the probability of you losing your wealth. Best you can do with Bitcoin is give a zombie a gnarly paper cut with the post-it that your private key is written down on. Because gold has more physical utility than Bitcoin, there are more opportunities to have your wealth eroded in this type of scenario, thereby making Bitcoin the better choice for wealth preservation in a zombie apocalypse. Lastly, physical protection. We've touched on this a bit, but gold can be used as a weapon. Gold can buy weapons. You can roll a bunch of gold marbles underneath a zombie and trip them. You can trick them into eating them and make them choke. Got yourself a slingshot and some gold chunks? Then you can Bart Simpson your way through a zombie horde if needed. Bitcoin is digital and can't really be used to hurt a zombie in any way. Only option I can really think of is strap a zombie to a chair and try to explain how Bitcoin works, hopefully hurting their brain from the confusion, but you don't even need to hold Bitcoin to do that. For physical protection, the clear winner is gold. All right, 2-2. Which is better to have during a zombie apocalypse, gold or Bitcoin? After considering all the factors, I would have to say gold. Ugh, God, it hurts to say that. Look, you have the option to trade it for resources, albeit at a major discount. You can use it as a weapon in a last resort type situation. You can even wear it if you wanted to look fly in your last days on Earth. Now, having said that, if there was a chance that civilization could return to normal after this dystopian nightmare scenario, I would rather hold Bitcoin. Bitcoin is superior than gold when it comes to portability, divisibility, transferability, name the illity, and Bitcoin is probably better. Bitcoin is easily verifiable, gold can easily be faked. One Bitcoin can be broken down to 100 million equal parts. Gold has physical limitations at small increments. Bitcoin can be sent anywhere in the world instantaneously for no fee. Gold is expensive and slow to physically move. Any amount of Bitcoin can be stored digitally and protected by words. The more gold that needs to be stored, the more expensive it is to protect. Bitcoin can cross borders undetected. Gold can easily be confiscated. Remember the meme? The fact that you can hold something in your hand is not always a benefit. It can feel like a comfort blanket, but don't be misled. It can be lost, stolen, and contains some level of physical overhead. Digital assets are not bound by the physical world limitations, and thereby have advantages that make them superior on many levels. If you like this topic, watch Ted Lasso and know who both Peter Schiff and Jack Mallers are. Check out how the conversation of the two would go if they played darts. Otherwise, go peep the other videos that YouTube thinks you might like. Until next time, stay curious, keep learning, and ponder with optimistic caution.